Dear children, today we are going to study about the poem Dust of Snow, written by Robert Frost. Though Robert Frost had died on January 29, 1963, his poems remain timeless, inspiring everyone. Most of the people know him for his poem The Road Not Taken, which you also have studied in class 9. But there's more to Frost than that. So let us read the poem now. Dust of Snow. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. Dust of Snow is only 8 lines long and seems to be the simplest of short poems. With full-length rhyme and short lines, on the surface the two stanzas appear to be nothing more than a snapshot of a trivial event concerning a crow, a tree, snow and a human being. Yet, as always with Robert Frost, you know that beneath the surface there will develop deeper worlds of meaning and possibility. As Frost himself wrote, it is what is beyond that makes poetry, what is unsaid in any work of art. Its unsaid part is its best part. Means what is not said in the poem, or in other words, what is hidden or can't be seen in the poem is the best part of it. So is with this tiny poem. The reader might take only 15 seconds to recite it, but once finished, there could well be several hours spent on or several ways of working out what the message is. The poetry of Robert Frost is usually associated with the landscape of the place that was his home for the longest time, and that is New England. In Dust of Snow as well, the landscape of New England is beautifully portrayed by the poet, and it is an important element of the poem as a whole. And now let us proceed towards the explanation of the poem. Robert Frost has been walking down some woods during the winter time. When he walks, he's lost in his thought and apparently he's very sad. There is something that is bothering him, his mind, his soul, at that part of time. When he is walking down, a crow who is sitting on a hemlock tree shakes down some flakes of snow on him. He says that this falling of snowflakes has given a change to his very depressed soul. He was just thinking and thinking what he was going through, the sad part of his life, something that was holding him back. He was carrying this stuff as a baggage with him, and he was in the pensive mood. As he tells us in the poem, he had not been looking forward to that day, and the day was not turning out any better than he had expected either. He had thought to himself that the day would in fact be going to waste. However, this all changed with the action of a crow. This crow had been flying around and suddenly decided to alight on a branch of one of the hemlock trees. Because of this sudden motion, the snowflakes that had been amassed on the branches of the hemlock tree rained down on the poet. The snowflakes were light and also a pleasure sight for sore eyes. In fact, the poet felt as if he was walking through a light precipitation of snowfall. As those who have experienced snowfall will say, this is a delightful experience. It was so for the poet as well. Immediately, his bad mood was uplifted. He was filled with joy and a sense of thankfulness that he was alive to see such beautiful things in this world. Frost's greatness lies in the fact that he is able to effectively convey to us, the readers, how such a simple thing as the falling of snowflakes from atop a tree can have a rejuvenating effect on the mind of man. His depiction of this experience is very convincing, and it also fills readers with a sense of tranquility. Now, dear children, let's have the literal meaning of the poem in nutshell. The poet is sitting under a hemlock tree and is very sad. Suddenly, a crow sitting on that tree shakes the branches of that tree. Fine snow particles fall on the poet. Soft and cold touch of snow changes poet's mood. Poet who was sad starts feeling refreshed. A simple moment, that is, falling of snow particles on the poet, becomes significant, saves the rest of the day of the poet from being wasted in regret. So, you see, the magic of nature worked to transform the poet's mood. Now, let's talk about the symbolism. The symbolism in this poem is very subtle and hard to catch. However, if we read between the lines, we will be able to understand just how apt the symbols used by the poet here are. The poet is having a bad day. He's clear about that. However, to make us understand the severity of his sullen mood, he introduces us to the symbol of the hemlock tree. As we know, hemlock is the name of the poison that was used to kill Socrates. Hence, the hemlock tree from which the poison is said to be made is a symbol of death. Walking by the hemlock tree could in fact have seemed like an ill omen to the poet and could have upset him further on this unpleasant day. The next symbol that the poet introduces to us is that of the crow. The crow is an ambiguous symbol and could stand for many things. Generally, the crow is considered to be the ugliest among all birds. Hence, it could be another sight to degrade the poet's mood once again. However, in some indigenous literatures, such as the Native American literature, the crow is the symbol of a trickster. Crows are pretty mischievous birds, and the crow in this poem is no exception. Its sudden alighting on the branch of a hemlock tree is what causes the poet to be surprised by the shower of snowflakes on himself. And this shower of snow certainly improves his mood. Perhaps the poet is saying that even something that one usually associates with negativity can have a positive effect, can have a positive impact. Hence, Frost's use of symbols is very profound and meaningful. And now, before we talk about the poetic devices used in the poem, let's talk about the rhyme scheme. So the rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, A, B. As in the first line, crow, and the third line, snow rhymes together. In the same way, in second line, me, and the fourth line, tree rhymes together. So the rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B. Now let us talk about the poetic devices. First is alliteration. You can see that here in the fifth line, has given my heart, H sound is repeated. And in seventh line, and saved some part, S sound is repeated. So here there is alliteration. Next is irony here. Crow and hemlock tree, which are linked with negative aspects, become the bringer of positive change. And isn't it ironic that a certain creature usually linked with negative aspects of life has become the bringer of positive change? So here there is irony also. And after irony, next is enjambment. This means when the same sentence continues in the next line without the use of any punctuation marks. And here in this case, the whole poem is an enjambment. Next is synecdoche. Synecdoche is a literary device in which a part of something represents the whole, or it may use a whole to represent a part. For example, let's talk about a part referring the whole. The word bread here, now please note, the word bread refers to food or money, as in writing is my bread and butter, or he is the sole breadwinner. You can take another example. The phrase grey beard refers to an old man. The word sails refer to a whole ship. The word glasses refers to spectacles. And if you talk about wheels, like check out my new wheels. Now here wheels refer to the whole car. Now the second part of it, the whole thing referring to a part. For example, India wins by 20 runs. Now here India means the 11 players playing cricket match, not the whole country. You got it? The use of synecdoche helps writers to achieve brevity. For instance, saying the soldiers were equipped with steel is more concise than saying the soldiers were equipped with swords, knives, daggers, and arrows. Right? So in this poem, the poet uses the device of synecdoche by way of using a part to represent the whole. In line 1 of the second stanza, he says that his heart has undergone a change of mood because the crow has made the snowflakes from the hemlock tree rain down on him. However, it is not only his heart, but he as an entire person is now experiencing a better mood as a result of the actions of the crow. Now if we talk about the theme, Frost presents nature in a very different manner in the poem. Generally, poets take the birds and trees which are known for their beauty and good qualities like peacock, parrot, cuckoo, myna, and trees full of beautiful flowers and fruits, etc. But here, Frost has taken a totally different line. He chooses crow, a bird which is black in color with very harsh voice and believed to be the symbol of a bad omen. Likewise, hemlock tree is a poisonous plant with white flowers. It means he has left all the beautiful colors present in the world and has chosen black and white. Actually, the poet has done so to present his mood and feelings. The crow and hemlock tree represent sorrow and depression felt by him in this materialistic world. On the other hand, the dust of snow is the symbol of natural joy and energy. It means passing through the sad and depressing moments, the poet is entering into the time full of joy and optimism. The message is clear enough. Sometimes seemingly insignificant natural events do bring about change. The poem Dust of Snow by Robert Frost reiterates that the little things in life can make huge changes in our future. It also shows that if we can take the hard times of a life in stride, eventually something will happen to change our situation into happier times. The simple things we do for others can make all the difference, as the small act of falling of snowflakes causes the man to have an enlightened insight. Just think about those random acts of kindness we do and how much they brighten a person's day and sometimes change their future. Noticing and appreciating all the small things in life will make our life happier. It will also cause us to have a spirit that is willing to change and therefore succeed. So this way we come to an end of the poem. I hope you've understood the poem. Thank you.